Hello guys, this is Cyber, and today we're going to take a look at Zuki. This girl is the bomb, literally. Zuki with her Zuka, as in bazooka, brings the pain as a firepower freelancer. Taking a look at Zuki's stats, she has a low health rating having only 120 HP. She has a high damage rating, which is common for firepower freelancers. Zuki has a survivability rating that is low. Because of this low rating, I usually try to keep my distance and attack from long range. Getting caught out in the open with multiple attacks is never good, but with Zuki's low health and only one rechargeable dash to escape, a situation like that can be deadly. The difficulty rating with Zuki is high because in order to be effective with Zuki's abilities, you have to learn how to get her into good positions where you can take advantage of wide damage areas of her abilities. Zuki's primary ability is called Bombard. This ability fires a missile that deals 32 damage to the opponent that was directly hit and deals 22 splash damage to opponents nearby. Zuki gains 10 energy for each opponent hit. Bombard targets in a straight line with a range of 7 spaces. The splash damage radius is 1 space around the impact area. Bombard is a blast phase ability that has no cooldown. Bombard is the type of ability that you use at range to consistently deal damage to opponents. Being able to keep your distance does 2 things. First, it keeps Zuki out of a dangerous situation, and second, you can catch opponents off guard by being right outside of their vision and hitting them with a surprise missile. Zuki's next ability is called Sticky Bomb. This ability sticks a bomb on all opponents in Zuki's cone of fire. Opponents with sticky bombs on them have what looks like a sparkler attached to them. These bombs explode in the blast phase of the next turn, dealing 26 damage. Zuki gains 8 energy for each opponent hit. Sticky Bomb targets in a cone with a range of 7 spaces. This cone has a width of 1 space at the beginning and spreads out to 7 spaces at the far ends. This is a blast phase ability with a 3-turn cooldown. Sticky Bomb is a great ability to catch a group of opponents who are spread out enough that the Bombard ability won't be effective, especially if more than one opponent is in range and is low enough to get a takedown. Use this ability to tag them and get multiple takedowns. Next up is the big one. When Zuki uses this ability, she fires a missile into the sky during the prep phase. During the blast phase of the next turn, the missile lands, dealing 50 damage to opponents in the center. Opponents in the spaces around the center take 35 damage, and opponents on the outer edge take 20 damage. This damage ignores cover, and Zuki gains 10 energy for each opponent hit. The big one can target the center at a range of 9 spaces and has a 4-turn cooldown. The big one has a wide 5x5 area of effect, but since this ability takes a turn to deal damage, you have to try and predict where your opponents will be next turn and target there. Or you can use this ability to force opponents to burn their dash abilities. This next ability is Zuki's only dash ability, called none other than Rocket Jump. When Zuki uses this ability, she rocket jumps to another space up to 5 spaces away. This ability will also deal 20 damage to opponents within 2 spaces horizontally and vertically, and 1 space diagonally around her when she takes off. This of course is an ability to get you out of trouble, so just save it and use it when you find yourself in a tight spot. Zuki's ultimate ability is called Missile Storm. During the prep phase, Zuki locks on to opponents with Missile Storm's cone of fire. And during the blast phase, Zuki fires a barrage of missiles on the locked on spots, dealing 45 damage that ignore cover. The target cone of fire has a range of 7 spaces with a width of 5 spaces at the beginning and a massive 15 spaces at the far ends. Try to catch opponents off guard or after they have used their dash abilities, because if opponents use a dash ability and move off the locked on spots, Zuki's missiles will miss and your ultimate will be wasted. Now here's a look at the mods I'm using on Zuki. On Bombard, I'm using the Extra Shrapnel mod. An increase of 4 to the splash damage may not seem like a lot, but it does add up since Bombard does not have a cooldown. This really comes in handy when an opponent is just around a corner or behind cover. Instead of hitting them directly, you can use the splash damage to hit them for full amount instead of a direct hit with the cover penalty. On Sticky Bomb, I'm using the Phosphorus Residue mod. Since this ability has a large targeting area, it works out as a great utility to the team to reveal opponents, especially ones with abilities that make them invisible. With this mod, you can track and damage opponents at the same time. On the big one, I'm using the Peekaboo mod. This mod makes the big one a free ability and increases the cooldown from 4 to 6. With it being a free ability, I don't lose a turn targeting the big one, and you're now free to attack or dash and leave a nice present behind. On Rocket Jump, I'm using the Extra Big Boom mod. This is only because I had one mod slot open, and why not pick the damage increase? I don't find myself surrounded often with Zuki, but for the times I do need to escape, I want to hurt him when I leave. On Missile Storm, I'm using the Concentrated Fire mod. The damage increase with this mod is really good. The way this mod works is targeting one opponent will increase the damage by 9, targeting 2 will increase the damage by 6, 3 opponents increases the damage by 3, and 4 sets Missile Storm to deal the default damage. Couple this with a might bonus and you can deal lots of damage. I want to thank you for stopping by and viewing this guide. I hope it's been helpful, and if you've enjoyed this, why not hit that like button, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. I thank you once again, and I hope to see you soon.